A little boy sits in a crowded classroom, staring at the floor, while everyone else talks and laughs. Another child repeats the same sentence again and again because it feels comforting. Nearby, a teenager covers his ears after hearing a loud blender. Most people call these behaviors shyness, strange habits, or difficult attitudes. But sometimes these small moments point toward something much deeper. Many people spend years without realizing their children were showing early signs of autism spectrum disorder. And some of the smallest signs are the ones most people completely ignore. What are the subtle signs of autism most people miss? Autism does not always look obvious. In many cases, the signs appear during ordinary daily situations. Child, teenagers, and even adults can experience autism differently. Hi, my name is Paul, and I help parents understand the hidden meanings behind children's behavior so they can raise happier, smarter kids. Autism spectrum disorder is not an illness. It affects communication, behavior, sensory processing, and social interaction. Some people need significant support, while others appear completely typical outwardly, which is why many important warning signs remain unnoticed for years. Difficulty with eye contact. Many autistic people struggle with eye contact because it can feel deeply uncomfortable or intense. During conversations, they may look away or towards the floor, walls, or nearby objects. Some children avoid eye contact completely, while others stare too intensely without realizing it feels unusual to other people. Parents, teachers, and friends often misunderstood this behavior. They may assume the person is rude, distracted, nervous, or lacking confidence. In reality, eye contact can feel overwhelming and unnatural for some autistic individuals. But social interactions itself can become even more difficult. Trouble understanding social cues. Social communication involves much more than words. People constantly use sarcasm, facial expressions, body language, and tone of voice to express hidden meanings. Many autistic individuals find these signals confusing. A simple joke may be interpreted literally. A sarcastic comment may sound completely serious. Because of this, misunderstandings happen often. Conversations can suddenly become awkward, uncomfortable, or painful. Over time, many autistic people begin feeling isolated because they struggle to understand reactions that seem obvious to everyone else. Strong need for routine. For many autistic individuals, routines create comfort, structure, and emotional safety. Even small, unexpected changes can feel extremely stressful. A canceled plan, a rearranged bedroom, or a sudden schedule disruption may trigger anxiety, frustration, or panic. To outsiders, these reactions sometimes appear dramatic or unreasonable. However, routines help autistic people predict what will happen next in a world that often feels confusing and overstimulating. Without that sense of predictability, stress levels can rise quickly, and sometimes the reaction can be overwhelming. Sensory sensitivities. Imagine hearing every small sound at maximum volume or feeling every fabric texture against your skin all day long. Many autistic individuals experience sensory sensitivities that make ordinary environments exhausting. Loud chewing, bright lights, crowded rooms, strong smells, or itchy clothing tags can become unbearable. During sensory overload, the brain struggles to process incoming information, which may lead to shutdowns, anxiety, or emotional distress. Because many people fear of being judged, they often hide these struggles from others, making the problem almost invisible. Repetitive behaviors or movements. Some autistic individuals repeat movements, sounds, or actions to help manage emotions, stress, or overwhelming situations. This behavior is commonly called stimming. It may include hand flapping, tapping fingers, rocking back and forth, or repeating certain words and phrases. These actions often provide comfort, focus, or emotional regulation. Unfortunately, outsiders sometimes view these behaviors as strange, immature, or disruptive. In reality, stimming can help autistic people feel calmer and more in control during stressful moments. But some signs are even harder to notice. Deep obsession with specific interests. Many autistic individuals develop extremely strong interest in specific topics. Unlike ordinary hobbies, these interests can become intense, long-lasting, and highly detailed. A child may memorize every train model, while another person spends years studying maps, animals, or technology. Some people can discuss their favorite subjects for hours without losing interest. These deep passions are not necessarily harmful. In fact, autistic individuals often become incredibly knowledgeable, talented, and skilled within their chosen interests because of their remarkable level of focus. Difficulty expressing emotions. Autistic individuals often feel emotions deeply, even if they struggle to express them outwardly. Some may have difficulty explaining sadness, frustration, excitement, or fear using words. Others may appear emotionally distant, quiet, or detached during important situations. This can lead people to assume they are cold, uncaring, or uninterested. However, the emotional experience happening internally may actually be extremely intense. Many autistic people desperately want emotional connection, but find communication difficult, which can create loneliness and painful misunderstandings in relationships. Delayed or unusual communication patterns. Communication differences can appear in many forms. Some autistic children experience speech delays, while others develop advanced vocabulary unusually early. Certain individuals speak in a monotone voice, while others repeat phrases they heard from movies, teachers, or family members. Some children communicate using language that sounds extremely formal for their age. These patterns are not simply personality quirks. They reflect differences in how autistic brains process language, expression, and social communication. Communication challenges can vary greatly from one autistic person to another. Social exhaustion after interaction. Social interaction can feel mentally exhausting for many autistic individuals. Even short conversations, crowded gatherings, or school activities may drain emotional energy quickly. After social situations, autistic children often need time alone to recover, rest, and calm their minds. One reason for this exhaustion is masking, which means pretending to behave in ways society considers normal. Many autistic people carefully copy facial expressions, tone of voice, and social behaviors to avoid judgment, because masking happens quietly. This emotional exhaustion usually remains completely invisible to others. Feeling different since childhood. One of the most common experiences among autistic adults is feeling different since childhood. Many describe growing up with a constant sense of not fitting in, being misunderstood, or struggling to connect with the people around them. Some spend decades believing something is personally wrong with them before eventually discovering autism later in life. For many adults, receiving a diagnosis brings relief, clarity, and self-understanding. Suddenly, years of confusion begin making sense, and they finally realize they were never broke at all. When autism signs are ignored, the emotional consequences can become serious. Many autistic children and adults experience anxiety, depression, burnout, and deep social isolation, simply because nobody understands what they're going through. A child struggling in school may be called lazy, disrespectful, or disruptive, when they're actually overwhelmed internally. Adults often spend years blaming themselves for failed relationships, communication difficulties, or emotional exhaustion. Sometimes the biggest struggle is not autism, but never being understood. One of the biggest misconceptions about autism comes from stereotypes shown online, televisions, and movies. Many people imagine that every autistic person behaves the same way, but reality is far more complex. Some autistic individuals appear confident, intelligent, socially, and highly successful on the outside. Yet, small, everyday behaviors can still reveal deeper neurological differences. Understanding these hidden signs can completely change how parents, teachers, friends, and even individuals see themselves for the first time in their lives. It is important to remember that having one or two of these signs does not automatically mean someone is autistic. Human behavior is complex, and every personality is different. However, when multiple patterns appear consistently over time, professional evaluation can provide clarity. Psychologists use detailed assessments, observations, and interviews to better understand how a person processes communication, emotion, and sensory experiences. Awareness matters because early understanding and support can greatly improve the quality of life. Autism is not a flaw or illness. It is simply a different way the brain experiences the world. Small behaviors often hide deeper emotional struggles, which is why empathy matters so much. Instead of criticizing people for acting differently, we should learn to observe with patience, compassion, and understanding. Sometimes the people who seem the most different are simply experiencing the world in a different way. Which autism sign surprised you the most? Share your thoughts respectfully in the comments and explore our upcoming videos about autism myths, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, and psychology. And remember, understanding someone can change their entire world. For many families, learning about autism becomes the first step towards healing confusion, guilt, and fear. When people finally understand why certain behaviors happen, relationships often improve, communication becomes easier, and individuals feel accepted instead of judged for the very first time in their lives.